Hi, everybody. Mrs. Abbott here in the counseling office, and I'm excited to bring you information regarding the WorkKeys Assessment. So let's get started. I'll take my face off the screen. This is going to be an assessment that we're offer at Heritage High School on Wednesday, March 31st at 9:30 in the morning. So what is WorkKeys? ACT WorkKeys is an assessment measure of real-world skills that employers believe to be critical to job success. All the questions are based on situations that you would see in the everyday work world. There are 3 computer-based assessments: workplace documents, applied math, and graphic literacy. Each assessment is 55 minutes in length, and if you have a support plan that allows for extended time, you will get that as well. So why should you take the WorkKeys assessment? It's an opportunity for you to show your workplace knowledge, a possibility to earn the National Career Readiness Certificate that helps with employment. The most immediate benefit to you is if you score a 3 or higher on all 3 of those assessments, it will count towards graduation competencies for both math and English. A group of Heritage students last year took the WorkKeys assessment, and this is what they said about it, that they really believed it applied to the real world. It was easier test than they've had before, and because it was all on things that they could use in their everyday life. One student really liked how there were questions that were ones that you really would face in real world situations. You got to use a calculator, and it really helped them see if you were ready for the real work world. All of these students recommended the test to their friends. And then the key thing is, how did they do? 95% pass rate. So out of 160 assessments, our Heritage students scored 3 or higher on 152 of those assessments. That's a great pass rate. We know our students do really well on this assessment. So what should you expect? On Wednesday, March 31st, the assessment will start at 9:30. We will cover the cost of the test for you if you take it on this day. You need to bring a charged Chromebook. You will get a 5-minute stretch break after the first assessment and up to a 30-minute lunch break after the second. The assessments are timed. However, if you finish before the allotted time, you may move on to the next assessment. No cell phones are allowed, must be turned off, and they will be collected. And the results will be available the very next day. There's really no practice for the WorkKeys assessments. Getting a good night's rest and arriving on time are the 2 most important steps you can take to be prepared. Let's learn just a little bit more about the assessments themselves. They're the applied math. There's 34 questions that you have to answer in 55 minutes. And we use math every single day. This assessment is measuring critical thinking, mathematical reasoning, and problem-solving techniques. You can use calculators and conversion tables on this assessment as well. Let's take a look at one of the level 3. And remember, you have to pass level 3. These are one of the questions. So in your job as a cashier, a customer gives you a $20 bill and to pay for a can of coffee that costs $3.84. And the question is, how much change should you give back? Well, we can do some of the simple math and realize that the answer is B. The question doesn't seem too difficult, does it? Let's move on to workplace documents. There's 35 questions that you have 55 minutes. So this one is, how well do you understand written text? So they will be giving you various different text, letters, directions, signs, bulletins, and making sure that you understand the information that's on it. So here's an example of a level 3 workplace document question. It says, attention cashiers, all store employees will now get 20% off price of the clothes they buy here. Please follow the new directions listed below. So the question is, if you're a cashier, according to the notice shown, what should you write on a store employee's receipt? So let's start digging down a little bit more. We're looking for what you should write on a store employee's receipt. Let's look at the text. There it is. You need to write your initials. So the answer is E. Just takes a little bit of reading, but there's no trick questions to this. The last assessment is graphic literacy. There's 38 questions you have to answer in 55 minutes. This one is seeing how well you can identify what information is being presented in various different charts and graphs and understand how to use it. Let's take a look at an example here. So you have a graph, and this is a construction manager reviews the request for information log. And the question is, on what day was RFI-0386 requested? Well, let's take a look. We identified that RFI 0386, and then the key is what day it was requested. So we need to look at that column to find our answer, which is now B, on January 29th. So those questions don't seem too bad, do they? So if you have any questions regarding taking the WorkKeys assessment on March 31st, or you wish to opt out, please contact me, Mary Abbott, at mabbott@lps.k12.co.us. We are excited to offer you this great opportunity of WorkKeys. See you on the 31st.